Okay, so today we are discussing about automatic account determination. So if you remember that when we are doing that goods receipt or goods issue or transfer postings and all, okay, every time we are getting that, sometimes we are getting issue like the OBYC settings, which is like we are getting problem of the transaction event key sort of accounts which is not assigned to GL account. Are you remember that base X, WRX, PRD, okay, GBB. So we are doing every time going to the OBYC and configuring that GL account, right? Have you remember that? So every time we are going that, right? So this
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
OBYC,
We are going back
yes,
to FI
yeah,
settings
fair
only.
related, right? So here we are
Mm.
discussing about purely it is like a FI MM integration. Okay, so this process we are calling as a MM FI integration. So this process is name of automatic account determination. Okay, so let's go with the new screen. Okay, so this is called automatic account determination. So this is FI MM integration or MMFI integration. Okay, so that means, okay, so the GL account when they are mapping to GL account, so how in the MM process are involved, how the system will be finding that which GL account it is needed. Okay, because we have the stock inventory account is there, we have the luxury expenses items which is there, and we have that profit and loss account which is there. Okay, we have that different GL accounts, right? So we are dividing that like profits and loss into different GL accounts, right? So the GL accounts when they are mapping, so based on our process how it is connected to the GL account, so that we are just calling about that. So uh, when we are doing this process, no, when we are doing this process, 1 minute, I will just close the door. Okay, so what we are actually selecting the uh, things when we are doing the GR or goods issue or transfer posting. What actually we are selecting? What we are selecting? If you want to do, if you want to do any posting or something, what it is needed actually? What it is needed?
Okay.
First of all, material which is required, right? Material which is required. The second is plant it is required. The third is, other than this term plant and material, what you need other than that? You need
Vendor.
vendor it is required, and other than that, movement type it is required. Movement type is required or not required? Movement type. Do you know that movement type? What is the movement type we are using
Yes.
for goods receipt? What is the movement type?
Zero.
What is the movement type we are using for goods receipt for purchase order? 101, right? 101, 102, 201, 161, 1, right? We are using so many movement types, right? Have you remember that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So
And
every process we are getting one movement type, right? So many
yes.
times we are discussing that movement types, right? So
Mm.
every time we are getting one movement type. If you can see that here 351 movement type is there, 301 movement type is there, 303 movement type is, 305 is there, 641 movement type are there, right? So many movement types we have talking about, right? So the movement type also it is one of the mandatory to understand that what process we are doing, right? So now, so first we'll see that what actually it is there in the so plant. So if you're talking about that plant, okay. So oh, okay, plant. So plant. Okay, when we're talking about plant, plant already assigned to the company code. Plant already assigned to the company code, right? And
Yes.
the violation area. valuation area is assigned to the plant, right? So plant is the valuation area, right? If you remember
Yes.
that, right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
valuation area, okay, and company code having that, okay, this company code and plant and valuation area have the chart of account. Chart of account. So from financial side, they will have the one chart of account which is created for the company code. Okay, that company code having the assignment of chart of account. What is this purpose of chart of account? This chart of account having that they are creating the GL accounts in the each company code. Under the each chart of account they are creating the GL accounts. Either it is expense account, or it may be the inventory account, or it may be the loss gain account, or profit account, anything which is like what GL account which is there, all GL account which is created under chart of account. So this chart of account, how the system is identifying that based on the company code. So the company code, how system knows that, because you are assigned a plant, that plant already assigned to the company code, right? Clear? Is clear? So
Yes,
the
sir.
first
Yes, sir.
setup is okay, company code having that plan. Okay, so you can put that, maybe you can put that first thing plan in the GR. When you posting the goods receipt, goods issue, transfer posting, anything, the first thing is plant you are entering, right? Which plant you are doing that plant already assigned to the company code, right? So that company code having the chart of account, right? So that chart of account, right? So this chart of account like INT, if you remember that INT we are assigned, like they are different chart of account they are creating. This chart of account having the when you observe that when we creating the chart of when we creating the GL account, we are using that FS00 to create the GL account. So where they are creating by using this company code, they are using the chart of account. That chart of account have the GL accounts, right? So so when you selected a plan, so how this plan again valuation area is there. This plant is the valuation area, right? So if you remember that either company code level or plant level, we can assign the valuation area. Why we are assigning valuation area at plant level? Because each individual plant having their own valuation, right? If you remember that we are discussed about the price, if it is Mumbai, if it is Bangalore, if it is Hyderabad, the prices are different for each plant, right? So that's
Yes,
why we
sir.
are just considering that valuation area at plant level, right? Okay. Now I have
Yes.
next. I have what else I have? Okay. I have material. So when I'm just posting the MIGO, first I have already entered the plant. That plant is already there, and the second thing is material. So in the material, what information you have? In the metal master, what you have? What information it is there? You have valuation classes, right? Have remember that we are assigning, and when you creating the material master record, we are assigning the valuation classes. Okay, so this valuation class how you will get, you are designing that each material type level having the multiple valuation classes. So if you remember that when we are talking about the material type, we are discussing about the valuation class also, right? So material having that material type, okay, that material type is assigned to the valuation class, but it is not directly connected. So what is actually it is connected, it is connected at account category reference. So account category reference having the valuation classes. So let's go to that SAP system. Let's see. The first thing is I will go to the SAP. Shravan, can you go on mute, Shravan? Getting some voice disturbance. If you have any
Yes,
question, you
sir.
just unmute and you can talk. Okay, so the first which we discussed about it, okay, which first we discussed about it, the company code having the chart of accounts, right? So if you see that when you are going to that company code, enterprise structure, in this enterprise structure, we already discussing about it. The company code when we just defining the company code, okay. In this company code, okay, you have the chart of accounts. So let's see that chart of accounts. So assign company code to chart of account. So in this chart of accounts, so the SAP we are creating that our own chart of accounts. So what is our company? Suppose GCE. So each this GCE having that, okay, this chart of account, INT chart of account. So that's why when you just searching the GL account, you are just assigning the GL account or OBYC setting. The chart of account is the one key element. Okay, so this is the assignment here, company code and chart of account. Okay, and again, if you go to assignments, if you go to assignment in the here in the configuration, okay, so one first thing I will go here, you can see the valuation level. So in this valuation level we are putting that valuation area is the plant level, not at company code level. If it is company code level, then this will come as a company code as a valuation area, but here already plant is a valuation area. Okay, now the third one is if you go to material type configuration OMS2, OMS2. OMS2 having configuration of material type. So in the when you creating the material type, any material type you can take. If you go to material type and go to inside of material type, you can see that there is a account category reference. Okay, so this account category reference is a mediator which helps that what valuation classes should be get. So when I'm creating the metal master, okay, if I'm just going to the metal master, I'm 02, I'm just going to that, whatever it is existing, I'm just taking that. Okay, so if I go to accounting data, the accounting data, there will be a valuation class. Okay, there will be a valuation class. So how this valuation class which is hitting here, how this valuation class is hitting here, because this material type, okay, what is the material type here? This oil material type, or sorry, the pipe material type, this pipe material type having that assignment of account category reference, that account category reference have the multiple valuation classes. So what here, the step 2 is material. We have material in the average year. So you are entering material number, right? You are entering material number or not? You are entering material number or not? When you posting any GR, goods issue, goods shipped and all, you are entering material
Yes,
number,
sir.
right?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So from this material number, already material type is there. For each material, there must be material type, right? There must be material type, right?
Yes, sir.
And this material type have
Yes,
the
sir.
account category reference. Is that material type have the account category reference? Just now we just seen, right? So not INT. So this material type having the account category reference of 0001. So anything which is like you can use anything. Okay, this account category reference. So this is the material type creation, right? In this material type having the account category reference. Okay, INT is the chart of account. That is company code. That is already completed first step. In the first step, we already completed that company code having the chart of account. And this material is the talking about material type having the account category reference. Where here you can see this account category reference. Okay, where is that material type? This material type have the account category reference. This account category reference having the multiple valuation classes. That valuation classes will be showing here. So let's see that what. So now this material having the material type having the account category reference is assigned to the multiple valuation classes. So in this process, first we are defining that valuation classes. We are defining the valuation classes. So let's see how we can define that valuation classes. Okay, let's go to the configuration first. Because if you remember that every time when we are assigning this OBYC, in OBYC we are getting error message, right? Every time we are getting error message, in that error message it is displaying that this validation class don't have the GL account. This validation class GL account is missing. So we are entering manually that validation class, right? So that validation class now we are defining. So let's go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG, and go to material management. This material management having the valuation and account assignment, and this valuation account assignment is the account determination. In this account determination, you can see define valuation and control, group together valuation areas, define valuation classes. These four steps are the automatic account determination. So first I will go to the define valuation classes. Okay, so you can see here, first you have to define your own valuation. Sorry, you have to be defined the account category reference. Suppose let's assume that I'm just creating the GCE. This is my account. So I'll just put that RGCE. I'll just put RGCE. RGCE means raw material, material type, raw material type reference. Okay, raw material reference. Okay, now I'll also be creating that FGCE. So this is finished material type reference. So I'm just creating my own account category reference. Like I will be creating for the semi-finished goods. So I'm just putting the SGCE, semi-finished goods. Okay, so like I'm just created that. Okay, three I have created that. Now I have shown right 0001, right? So that is standard, but I'm just creating my own customized one. So if I assign this 0001, if I assign this account RGC or FGC or SGC, then the system will not display any validation classes because we still not assign any validation classes to this account category reference. So I will go to OMS2, okay, and I'll just go to FERT, and I'm just creating my own material type, okay, which is like FGCE. I'm just creating the FGCE, which is for finished goods, GCE finished goods, okay, finished product. So now what I'm doing now, in the material type, what I have customized material type, having that my customized account category reference. What account category reference I have created just now for a finished goods, I have created that what I have created FGCE. I have created FGCE. So that FGCE I am assigning here. Okay. Now save. Same I can do for ROH also. I will be creating my own material type. Okay, like I'm just example. I'm just creating that for GCE. Same I'm just creating, and this is for GCE raw material type. So I'm just copying that as well. Again, I'll going to that here, and I'm changing this account category reference as my own GCE. Okay. Same, you can go to SFG also, semi-finished goods, HALB, that copying that. Just taking it is copying. Okay. So HALB, copying that, and I'm just creating my own HRCE. Okay, sorry, GCE, right? Okay, I can create even HALB also, it's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to OMS2 and go to HALB and select this HALB, copy this one, and I'm just going to HGCE. So this is also semi-finished goods for this one. So what I need to do here, account category reference which I created, account category reference which I created, I'm assigning that my own my own account category reference. What is that? GCE. Okay, GCE is not there. What is the semi-finished course, right? GCE, I think. Okay, SGCE. Okay. Okay. Now I have assigned here. Now what I can do now? I can create a material master. I can create a material master. So now I'm just creating the one material by using my own customized material types. So what is the material type which I created just now? Any you can take any FGCE, FGCE. Okay, I'm using this one. I'm creating now. I'm just planning to create only accounting data and basic data. Okay, I don't want to create entire data. I'm just going to account data. Now I'm entering that the details. So testing, okay, FERT product. I'm just putting that. Okay, now if you see here, okay, I have the valuation class, right? So if I go to here valuation class F4, there is no entries here. Why there is no entries valuation classes? Because whatever we customized account category reference, we have created any customized account category reference, right? That is still not assigned to any of the valuation classes. Now what I will do? I'll go back. I will go to define the valuation classes. So now let's define the valuation classes. So I'll just create that one customized one, which GC1, which is assigned to the GCE, like finish codes, solid, FGC2, FGCE, finish codes, liquid. Okay, and FGC3 and FGCE finish codes like iron or something, which is like iron rods or something, which I'm finished. Now I have created this tree. Okay, now what happened? This account category reference having that this valuation classes, this account category reference already assigned to the material type. We already assigned, right? So now go to material master. Let's see that whether the valuation classes are hitting or not hitting. Just F4. Now if you can see that FGC1, FGC2, FGC3. So based on a material, you can select now which valuation class should be selected. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So based on the material category reference, account category reference, based on account category reference. So this is the middleware, this is the mediator between the material type to valuation classes. Okay. So every material having the material type, that material type having the account category reference, this account category reference have the multiple valuation classes. Okay. So account category reference is not directly impacting, but it is a mediator to control the each material type having the material classes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So first one is already discussed, that the chart of account, which is coming from configuration, that is from material, that is from the company code configuration, FI configuration. That's the second one is plant valuation area. So we are entering plant, that having the valuation area, and the third one is valuation class. Okay, so now I'll just design one slide here. Where it is grayed out. Okay, now if I go to circle, so our main agenda is GL account, and main agenda is GL account. So Now this GL account is designed with different parameters. So first parameter is, let's go to this, it is very difficult, this one. Go to this, first one is first one which we have discussed that. First one is, which is like violation class. So violation class is one parameter. Then the second parameter is, what is the second parameter? The second parameter is chart of account. Chart of account. Okay. So the third parameter is transaction event key. What is that? Transaction event key. Okay, so the third is the transaction event key. So how this transaction event key will get? How this transaction event key will get? Any idea? What is that? This transaction event key, if you see that, what is the next parameter which we are just talking about? We are just talking about the next parameter is movement type, right? So movement type. So we are in the, when you are doing MIGO, goods receipt or goods issue or transfer posting, first you are selecting that which movement type it is. Depends on the movement type, the process will be defined, right? What process you are doing. So this movement type having that SAP standard already configured some transaction event case. Okay, so how this is configured, that we'll discuss that. So from movement types we will get a transaction event case. So the next one is movement types. So here some parameter system will be checking that. So one is quantity update, the second is value update, and the third is, okay, this quantity update and value update. The next one is consumption. Okay, and the fourth one is, okay, the process code. Okay, so based on that, the system will be identifying that which transaction event case. So this transaction event case are the standard transaction event case, like BSX we have, GBB we have, okay, and we have that so many which is like WRX we have, okay, PRD we have, okay, like we have multiple are there, okay, KON, like that we have multiple cases. So this transaction event case will come based on the movement type, but it is not only movement type. Using this movement type also, they have the quantity update, value update, and consumptions and the process. There are some factors are there. Based on that factors only, the transaction event will be coming. So let's go to that system. Okay, let's understand that as well. Okay, so this valuation class are clear, right? This valuation class is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's go to the movement type. Okay, I'll just close this one. So basically our target is how this GL account is hitting for the process. So usually GL account will come when you are doing the any stock postings. Either it is a goods issue or goods posting, goods receipt or transfer posting, scrapping, anything which you are doing stock movement. At that stock movement, for financial side we are informing to that, okay, this is the what we are doing this process. Okay, this process, how the system will be hitting the GL account, because they are not aware about that what process you are following. They need only the GL account which will give that the information like, okay, we are doing this process, okay, this is the what hitting, this is inventory account which is updated. They don't want you are receiving goods receipt or return stock, that will be different again. Okay, so now go to SPRO, go to SAP reference IMG and material management. In this material management, go to valuation and account assessment tab and go to account determination. This is already completed. Now we can go to that define account grouping for the movement type. Okay, so here each movement type having that, okay, one is the special stock indicator. That means, if you remember that we are doing for subcontracting, we are doing for third party, we are doing for consignment, like, so this special stock indicator also one of the key role, based on the, because uh, process was same. Even if I go to 101 is for goods received with purchase order, but again if you are going for consignment process, 101K, that means stock we are getting into the inventory, but it is not valid stock, it is not valuated stock, it is like a consignment stock. So process, when we just following that, so special stock indicator also it is important. Okay, so that might be subcontracting, that might be consignment, might be pipeline, anything which is like special stock indicators. So here we just talking about that we have multiple special stock indicators, each process having a different RTP is there, project stock is there, okay, subcontracting is there, consignment is there, okay, like each and process we have the different, okay. So one factor is the special stock. So this special stock indicator also we are entering at the time of MIGO 101K, 551, okay, like we are entering, right, 201K. Do you remember that? For when we are doing vendor consumption process, we are entering special stock indicator, MIGO. Have you remember that? Have you remember that? If I go to MIGO,
Yes, sir.
if I go to MIGO, while I'm doing that goods receipt or goods issue or transfer posting or stock indicator, okay, when I'm just selecting goods receipt, when I'm entering movement type, along with that movement type, if you need, if it is consignment process, we are selecting consignment. If we are doing subcontracting, it is subcontracting. Like we are entering that the special stock indicator. Okay, so this special stock indicator also one of the control whether this is the receipt, valuated receipt, or it is just we are receiving the stock, like that. So first control is special stock indicator, then value update and quantity update. Did you remember that value update and quantity update check boxes?
Material type.
Yeah, material type level. So
Yes, sir.
the material, if it is evaluated, then we are selected already at material type, that is evaluated material. And if it is stock quantity update, what is the difference? Value is nothing but like for the material, the stock value will be updated. If it is quantity update, the material inventory value will be updated, inventory quantity will be updated, right? Okay, then the next one is movement type. So this movement type is telling that with reference to the purchase order, with reference to production order, with reference to delivery order. So you have the multiple process, right? When you are doing the goods receipt, you can do with the goods receipt with purchase order, you can do with the goods receipt production order, you can do goods receipt without purchase order, right? So initial stock upload. So there are multiple factors, right? So the movement indicator also, which is important. So what is that? Movement indicator. Movement indicator. So value update, quantity update, stock, special stock, and movement indicator. What is the movement indicator? It will tell you that what is the reference, document, purchase order document, production order document, sales order document, like that. Okay, clear? So that movement of indicator. Then consumption. This consumption, if you remember that when we are using without value to stock, it means it is not for inventory purpose or it is a consumption purpose, then we are using the cost center account assessment category. Now PO, we are using the account assessment category. Vary that account okay, it is go to here, go to ME21 and PO, ME21 and go to ME21, and here you can have that option like cost centers, assets, order, production order, consumption. So that means when you selecting these materials, when you selecting this account assignment category, the stock will not come to the inventory. The stock will go to the particular like a user department. It's like a HR department, financial department, or it is especially for the cost centers consumptions, or it may be the we are using for the production order purpose or sales order purpose. If you remember that we already discussed this in the third party, PO, SAP, it is showing that account assignment category that is for the order, right? So that means that you are not receiving the stock to your inventory, it is directly issuing to the customer. So like if you go to the cost center, if you go to the cost center, we have selected that here K. If you selected the K, you have to be entered that which department, which you like HR department, administrative department, financial department, maintenance department, to whom you are consuming that product. Okay, so these will not come to our inventory account. It won't get to our store location. It will directly go to that department. So in that case, okay, in that case, the system will check that what actually consumption, what relevant to the consumption. This consumption, asset, sales order, project, or how it is like. If it is a cost center consumption, then it will go to the cost centers consumption. If it is a sales order consumption, then it will go to sales order, like third party, like that. Okay, so this consumption, these are the different parameters. Okay, so consumption, special stock indicator, movement type indicator, value update, quantity update, all this combination, okay, along with the movement type. SAP already defined that some value string, valuation string. Okay, so this is a standard, so you don't need to be worry about this valuation string already defined by SAP. If I just go to that 101 and value update yes, quantity update X, then if I go to here, you can see here this is the defined. That means 101 with the goods is shipped without special stock indicator, value update, quantity update with purchase order. B means purchase order. B means with purchase order. This is already assigned to WE01. So if I selected this and go to details, here already SAP suggested some transaction event keys. SAP already suggested some transaction event keys. That means when you are doing the process MIGO, when it is matching this movement type, when it is the value, the material is value updated, the material is quantity updated, and no special stock indicator, and the movement indicator has with reference to purchase order, no consumption, then there is a possibility of getting these transaction event keys like BSX, inventory account, like GRIR, okay, WRX, GRIR clearing account, okay, and if there is a price difference account, then PRD account, there's some possibilities are there. So SAP which is already defined, predefined one. So that is called value string. Okay, this value string and this are the already predefined. Okay, this is also consumption counter. Okay, 1, 2, 3 counter, and these are the transaction event keys. So this valuation strings having the multiple transaction event keys. Okay, so what is that here? In the material type, you have the quantity update. Okay, so material type and a special stock indicator. Okay, then what else? Special stock indicator, quantity update and value update. Okay, and what else? Consumption. Okay, so this having the factor of valuation string. Okay, valuation string. Okay, So this validation string having that what having that multiple transaction event keys. Okay, clear? Multiple validation account. So here the transaction event key. Okay, so this transaction event keys is coming based on the moment type and other settings. Based on that, this transaction event key which is coming. Okay, so this is the one factor. This is the one factor. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then there is a one more factor also it is there. Okay, so there is one more factor also it is there, that is called, there is SAP account modifier. Is a one more factor also it is there, account modifier. So it will not come every case. This account modifiers will come only for the some cases only. What cases it is? Okay, it especially which is coming for offsetting entries. That is means consumption related entries. Okay, when there is a consumption of the entries, okay, there is the account modifier. So here you also have the account modifier. There is also account modifier. So this account modifier will come. Okay, this account modifier will come only when there is a offsetting entries. Offsetting entries means, what is the meaning of offsetting entries? When there is a consumption. When there is a consumption. So what is the consumption? What is the consumption? So when you are consuming the stock directly to when you are consuming the stock directly to the particular department or particular purpose, like production order. In the production order, you are consuming the stock for what purpose? To prepare the FG product. So it is internal consumption, right? The production consumption, right? Like cost center consumption. So they have their own process. So like when there is a particular accounting modifier, that means particular consumption related, this account modifier will come. So majorly we'll get this account modifier for GBP. Most of the cases for GBP we will get. Okay, clear? So wherever there is the possibility of getting GBP, that GBP having the account modifier. Let's see that. Tell me one process, GBP. Scrapping. Okay, scrapping. Let's see scrapping. In this scrapping, wherever there is a GBP, okay, that GBP having the one account modifier. Okay, and if I go to the 101, this is not consumption. Okay, this is not consumption. If I go to BSX and all, okay, 101 BSX and all. Okay, let's go to BSX 101 XX. I'll just select 101 XX. Okay, if I go to this BSX, okay, there is a BSX. If I go to WRX, okay, there is a WRX, there is no account modifier. Okay, so when there is a BSX, there is no account modifier. Only if you see that GBP, and if you see that most of cases like when there is a consumption related entry, then only offsetting entry, then only there only we are getting that this account modifiers. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, so why this is very important? Why it is very important? Why we are getting the offsetting entries account modifier? Why we have the separate account modifier for this? Okay, so I'll give you one example. So goods issue. Okay, so I'm just planning to do goods issue, which is for the cost center. Okay, goods issue, which is for cost center. The second one is goods issue, which is for production department, production order. Okay, so what is the why we are doing goods issue to cost center and why we are doing goods issue to production order? Why we are doing goods issue to cost center? Why we are doing the goods issue to production order? Okay, so example. Okay, example. In this cost center, if you see that this is the department. This is the department like HR department or finance department or anything. Okay, administrative department like that. They have the requirement. They want to consume the some product, like laptops, papers, pens, or food. Okay, so they can want to consume the product. Okay, so what is the purpose of this? This is the requirement of the internal department. Okay, now production order also have the department. So production order also we are issuing. Why we are issuing this? Why we are doing consume this? They are consuming this product to produce the finished goods.
Final product.
Finished goods, right? And if I'll go to that, the next which is like subcontracting. So here also we have the consume the components. So why they want to consume the components? To produce the finished goods. So in this above case, we have the own manufacturing process, but in the subcontracting process, the third party vendor is consuming our components. So both cases have the consumption, right? Both having the different consumptions, right? But here they are using for the production order, and here we are using for the subcontracting, right? So in the consumption only there are multiple processes are there. In the consumption only there are multiple processes are there. So every time for each process, like if now we are talking about only cost center, we are talking about production order, only talking about subcontracting, but there is a project order consumption or process order consumptions, okay, like maintenance consumptions, services consumptions, like multiple consumptions are there. So every time it is very difficult to define multiple transaction event case, right? So what SAP did, the transaction event key is the same, but account modifier is the differentiating the GL account. So they want to, companies want to be differentiate that if it is a cost center department, like I want to 52 series. If it is a production department, then it is like 53 series. If it is a subcontracting, then it's like the 54 series. Like that, they want to be differentiate GL account. This is GL account. So then every time I cannot go each separate to transaction event key, right? So the transaction event key is same, but account modifier are different. The account modifiers are different. So that means here also we'll get the GBB, here also we'll get the GBB, here also we'll get the GBB, but account modifiers are different. So based on the account modifier, you can differentiate the GL account. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are talking about the material level, we are talking about company code level, we are talking about movement type level. What else we have? We also have that, okay, if the client is having the requirement of plant level, they have the plant level requirement. That means they have multiple plants, okay. So each plant, they want to be differentiated different GL accounts. That means if it is posted from the Mumbai plant, the GL account set was different. If it is from Vizag's plant, that will be a different set of the GL account. Okay, if it is a Hyderabad, that is a different set of that. So in that case, if you have the requirement of for the same valuation area, so different valuation area level have a different GL account set, then what you can do, you can create that valuation modifier. Okay, valuation modifier alpha. Okay, so this valuation modifier you have to define at the plant level. Where? In the plant level. So what is the plant? Here you can go to that group together valuation areas. Okay, that means if you have that this valuation grouping code, okay, valuation modifier or valuation grouping code, you can put valuation grouping code or valuation modifier, it is same. Not okay. So I just put that valuation modifier where I just written somewhere here. Valuation account category reference or valuation modifier. You can put category reference, valuation category reference. Okay, so this valuation account category reference, what you can do, so I have GCM, right? I have GCM plan, I have GCET. Okay, I can use the same if I want to be use same GL account set, that means here what GL account which is coming here also same GL account need to be get, then you can use same, like if you can define that ABCD, okay, I can define here also ABCD. But in case if I want to be differentiate that this having the different GL account, this having the different GL account, then I can put here something like 9999 something. Here I can put something 77777 like that, or ABCD, or whatever you want, you can define that. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means you can see here you have the valuation area and you have the company code, you have the chart of account. In that valuation area level, you are defining that your grouping code. Suppose if you have that GCM and GENH both, if you want the same, then you can mention that multiple valuation areas having the same GL account set. So I can put same here. Okay, so it means that you can use the same set or you can use the different also. Okay, clear? Okay, so the other parameter is what is the other parameter? Valuation area category reference. Where we will get this is from valuation area. So this valuation area is having already planned, that plant having the already company code. Okay, so I think it's already be written right in the top, so it's okay. Okay, so valuation category reference, I'll just put here, in here I'll just put that. What is that? Valuation category reference. Okay, so it's not working. Why? Okay, it's not getting okay. Okay. There is the color which we can take this color. Okay. So valuation, I'll put a black color. Okay. Valuation category reference. So how we are getting this valuation category reference? How we are getting this valuation category reference? From where we are getting? From valuation area. So are you assigning valuation area directly in the MIGO? What is the reference? Plant. So plant is the valuation category reference, valuation area, right? This plant having the valuation category reference. Okay, clear? So I can assign valuation grouping code. So okay, it is not valuation category reference. Okay, valuation grouping code. Valuation grouping code. Grouping code. Okay, valuation grouping. Sorry. Okay, so here also you can put valuation code, grouping code. Okay, so this valuation grouping code. So now the first setup is the company code having the chart of account. The second setup is the plant already having the valuation area. The third setup is valuation plant level plus valuation area level. We are defining the valuation grouping code. This is the one set. Then we are defining the valuation class. That valuation classes are assigned at material type level. Each material type, right? We have created our own material type, and that material type we are assigning the account category reference. That account category reference have the GL accounts. Sorry, this valuation classes. Okay, that's second setup. And third one is movement type. Each movement type having the set of special stock indicator values, update, quantity update, and movement type and consumption. This having the valuation string. Every valuation string have the multiple transaction event keys. Along with that, account modifiers also it is there. Okay. Then after that, once this is completed, you can go to the OBYC. OBYC. If I go to OBYC, I'm selected that. Suppose I'm just selecting the GBB. Okay. if I go to GBP offsetting entry, this is the inventory offsetting entry. First it is asking GL account. So where is the GL account? Do you have the GL account? How you got the GL account? Sorry, chart of account. How you got the chart of account? From where you are getting chart of account? Where are you getting chart of account? From where? Hello? Is it audible? Where you are getting
Yes,
chart
sir.
of account? The chart of account which is coming from the company code. The company code having the chart of account, right? Okay, so that's chart of account. What is the chart of account here? INT. So the first setup is when I'm searching for the transaction event key, the first it is asking that which chart of account. That means when you posting the any GR or goods issue or transfer posting, so based on your transaction key, first it is checking the chart of account. Then once I enter the chart of account, it is asking that which valuation modifier. Valuation modifier is nothing but like a valuation modifier is nothing but like a, if suppose I want to do this configuration. So I'm just copying this one. My valuation modifier is 7777, right? So I can have the 7777, 9999, right? So, and general modifier. What is the general modifier? So this is the consumption entry, right? Offsetting entry. So this offsetting entry having the consumption account. So that GBP having the account modifier. That is the general modifier. Okay. So that is the BSA. And what is this valuation class? Where you got the valuation class? Where you got the valuation class? Hello. Where you got the valuation class?
Plant, sir.
Valuation class we are getting from the Metal Master. First we are getting the chart of account. The second which is coming valuation classes from Metal Master, and the chart of account which is coming from the company code, and the movement type, the transaction event case which is coming from the movement type, and valuation grouping code which is coming from the valuation area. So you can see first one parameter, second parameter, third parameter, fourth parameter, five parameter. So these all three five parameters, the system is identifying the which GL account should be hit. Right? So what is the parameters here? What is the parameters first? The first one is valuation
Chart of
class.
account.
First one is valuation class, chart of account, grouping, valuation grouping code, transaction event key, and the other one, what is the fifth parameter? What is the fifth parameter? Valuation modifier, right? Valuation modifier or account modifier, it is same. So totally to get a GL account, first system will be checking that, okay, GBP or BSX like transaction event key. So how system know which transaction event key? How the system know which transaction event key? It is coming based on the movement type, special stock, and valuation update, and quantity update. Okay, then consumption. So all these parameters, the system having the valuation string, this valuation string having the multiple transaction event keys. This is the first parameter. Then the system second one, it is checking the chart of account. This chart of account where we will get from the each company code having the chart of account. The third one is account modifier. So account modifier or valuation modifier. So this is coming based on the your process, like consumption. If it is consumption related offsetting entry like GBP or it is like offsetting entry, then they have the account modifier. So that account modifier, how it is coming again based on the above parameters. Okay, so in the valuation string having the offsetting entry, then they have the account modifier. So it is again based on the movement type, again movement type and other parameters, which is like the special stock, valuation update and all, it is coming. Account modifier. Then after that, valuation grouping code. So where we are getting valuation grouping code, it is coming from the plant. So your plant having the valuation area, that valuation area we are assigned a different valuation grouping code. Then fifth parameter, what is the fifth parameter? Valuation class. This valuation class will get from the material master. Okay, so what is the difference here? Material type and account category difference. Okay, so if you need to get a GL account, the system is checking all these parameters. So when you are creating the MIGO, okay, if I'm going to the MIGO process /n MIGO, if I go to MIGO process, okay, if I selected that goods issue or goods receipt, okay, others, okay, the movement type, first is the movement type having the transaction event case. So what parameters it is checking? It is checking that what cost and what special stock you are checking. So I'm just going that consignment. Okay, 201K. 201K is nothing but like a K is the cost center. 201 is the movement type. So now I'm entering the material. Okay, if I'm entering the material, one material I'm just entering. Okay, I'm just entering the material number. So this material is the whether quantity update or value update. How you know? How you know that this material is quantity update or value update? In the material master. If you go to material master, go to material type. In this material type, pipe material. Okay, this pipe material is the quantity update or value update. Okay, I will take the any other material because this is the pipeline material. I'll go to some other material which is a valuable material, like if I go to red chili. Okay, so this red chili one, okay, the mint is okay, somebody they get deleted again. These guys are doing just changing again. Standard they're changing. Okay, so okay, now if I go to here, I'll just go again go. Okay, so if I go to this material master, okay, I will go to again MIGO. Okay, so now again I'm entering the material master. So now this material having the material type is the ROH. This ROH, if I go to OMS2, this OMS2 and ROH is the material type. Select the material type and go to quantity update and value update. So quantity update and value update. So what is our plant GCM? So this plant having the quantity update and value update. Okay, that means the system is validating now this material is the quantity update and value update, and we are also using the special stock indicator. We are using the 201 movement type. Okay, it is a consumption without any reference. So now if I go to my settings, if I go to my settings, what settings it is? If I go to here, my settings for this 201 movement type, 201 movement type, and value update is there, quantity update is there, special stock also we are using. We are using special stock. Okay, so what is the special stock we can use? I am entered that we are using K. We are using K is the special stock indicator. So now select this one. Okay, just select this one. So there is a possibility of getting the GBB and VBR. So it is telling that GBB and VBR. Okay, now I'm just go to post this one. Okay, so I'll just posting that some quantity, and again plant is required, right? So plant and store location, I will be enter any of the store location. we enter any of the okay, material. Okay, now you can enter the vendor also. Any of the vendor you can enter. What vendor we have? Okay, so now cost center also you can enter. Whatever it is there, cost center also we can enter. Now tell me that my five parameters. Five parameters. What is the five parameters here? Transaction event key. The system.
Chart of account.
So transaction event key, how the system will understand based on these parameters. Moment type 201. Here we are entering the 201 moment type, right? And special stock, yes, we are using that K. And valuation update, yes, we are selected value option updated. And quantity update, yes, we are updating quantity update. Okay, and consumption, we are not selected in here. So let's go here. This entry is for consumption, right? So this is the consumption blank. Okay, so now try to post this one. Click on check. Okay, so purchasing info record not found for the purchasing organization. Okay. Okay, so we are doing consumption, right? So I'll go to this ready chilies. We don't have anything because info record is mandatory for consumption process. So what we created earlier with what I think this one we have created consumption. Okay, so we'll use this material. Okay, so we need consumption. So 100 300. The partner also you have to use 200 okay. Okay, now click on check. Okay, how much quantity you have to do? One quantity. Click on check. Okay, now see here the system is telling that boss you have that mapping, the account determination mapping is not there. What is telling? INT. How you got INT here? How you got INT? This we are using the plan. We are using the plan that is a GCET. This GCEM. Okay. This GCM having the configuration of which company code? GCE, right? So if I go to enterprise structure definition, here logistical general, we are assigned the company code to plant. So our GCM is assigned to the GCE. So this GCE having the chart of account of what? Chart of account of assign company code to chart of account, right? So here if I go to here, our company code is GCE. This GCE is the assigned to the INT. So from here this is system is checking that for INT the GL account is missing. Again GBP, how you are getting this GBP? This GBP is coming because you are using the moment type 201 and K special stock indicator, quantity update and value update and consumption. All this configuration, because of all this configuration, the values string SAP already already is configured that, okay, which is already defined that for each GL account. Read that configuration is closed. Okay, so in this in this one 201K with quantity update and value update, this GBP is needed. So that GBP we need to be assigned. Okay, so what is the error here again? We are getting error of GBP VBR. Why we are getting VBR here? Again same question, because for the offsetting entries account modifier it is needed. So if I go to OBYC, first thing is, okay, what is the what is the transaction event key? So what is the transaction event key? What is transaction event key? We are getting error GBP. So go to select the GBP. So first select the GBP here. So where is the GBP? Where is the GBP? Where is the GBP? Here we have selected GBP. The next one, it will select that chart of account. Have to be entered the chart of account INT because our company code is assigned to chart of account INT, right? So I entered the INT, right? Correct or wrong? INT, right? Chart of account. Then where you got this 7777? Where you got from this 7777? This 777 is, what is that 777? It is the valuation grouping code.
Valuation.
The valuation grouping code. How you got the valuation grouping code? I'll go to that. Where is that? It is open. If you go to here back, here in the group to get a valuation grouping code, here what we are assigned our GCM, we are assigned 7777. This is the valuation grouping code. Okay, so configure automatic posting. So go to cancel here, and go to GBB, INT and entry. What is the entry missing? VBR missing, right? VBR. So I have to select the VBR, copy this one, VBR account. What is the valuation modifier here? 7777. Under the general modifier, it is VBR. And what is the valuation class here? In our case, valuation class is 3000. Okay, so 3000. Okay. So for this, I am assigning the GL account. Now save this one. Now this assignment is there. Now check again. Click on check. Now click on check. That error is gone. Because we are assigned that properly the assignment. Okay, so that means that to get the GL account, the main controls are chart of account, transaction event key, account modifier, valuation grouping code, valuation class. These are the based on the parameter, all these 5 parameters, the system finding the GL account. Clear? Okay, clear? So
Yes, sir.
it is not needed all 5 parameters every case. The valuation, if it is a valuation modifier, it is not required for all the cases. It is required only for offsetting entries. Okay, so main things are valuation class is mandatory, chart of account is mandatory, transaction event key is, these 3 are very important. But other than the other process, it depends on the process what you are following. Based on that, system will be asked. So based on all this setup, the system will be capturing the GL account. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so based on the all these parameters, it will be getting the stock. Now we click on check and post now. Let's try to post. Now we are getting for AQO. AQO is the one of the valuation transaction event key. Okay, so let's go to again AQO OBYC. AQO, go to AQO. So expense and revenue, consignment, material consumption. Okay, INT, and here again system is checking that for your 7777. 7777 is missing. Okay, so again copy and paste. So it will be already somewhere it is open. That's why it is coming display mode. You go to that. Okay, now we'll go here back and go to AQO. AQO is the one of the setting which is missing. Go to AQO and copy, and 7777 is missing. Okay, and valuation class is 3000. Now I just assign this one also. Now go to again, click on check and post. Now it is coming that the AKO having the missing of the GL account. This is the which is relevant to the transaction event key. Okay, so this is different again. Okay, this transaction trouble whichever you assign here, this 4000 and 3001, which is actually what I will do, I'll take some other GL account. Okay, let's try this one. The GL accounts also should be valid and should be having the all the parameters. Now I am posting this one. So document is posted now. So now we go to display and see that financial documents. Just see the financial documents here. Go to document info and you can see whatever you assign the GL accounts for the GBP for that it will come here. If you go to here, there is a three transaction event keys are there. One GBP, VBR. So that we are assigned 40000000. Let's check that. Go back. Go to GBP. Where is the GBP? Go to GBP. And what is that? Our valuation modifier is 7777. And general modifier is VBR. And valuation class is 3000. So all these parameters it is assigned to the 40000. So that GL account which is coming here. Is it correct? Is it correct? 40000 which is coming here. Same way AKO also we are assigned some GL account. Go to AKO again for 7777 we are assigned this GL account. So the system which is hitting from based on the what GL account you are assigned here. It is coming 23660000. So it is coming from there 260000 2360000 credit. So if it is credit, then it will come this value. If it is debit, then it will come this GL account. Is it clear? So mostly it will be the same credit and debit. Okay, because finally it should be nullified. Okay, when they are clearing that. Okay, so mostly the debit GL account, credit GL account should be same, not different one. Okay, clear? So this is the way these GL accounts are hitting. Again, this KON again having that what GL account. KON not required all the information because it's like a consumption, right? So that's why it is not asking. If you go to KON, select this one, there is nothing is there. Okay, so that's why it is not asking. It's directly taking the GL account. That's why 169900. It is taking from directly 169900. It is not required any general modifiers here. So that's why it is taken directly. Okay, now clear? So this is the way wherever there is a process, where there is a account modifiers. Okay, it depends on the process. Every time you have to be assigned the proper GL account. So that GL account will go to the financial team. So then tomorrow they will check that. They will check what is the consumables, consumption raw material cost. What is the loss consumption stock? What is the profit stock? What is the profit inventory account? That they will be checking based on the GL account, not based on the process. Clear? So this is the automatic account determination process. So we have the multiple transaction event keys are there. What are the multiple transaction keys are there? BSX, WRX, GBP, okay, KON, AKO, like KDM, like we have multiple transaction event keys are there. Each process having their own transaction event key. So this is the FI MM integration. Clear? Is it clear? Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Okay. So this is the way you are getting.